When you pull up that road and you pull up into the property, it smells like a sopus. It feels like a sopus. Whether it's fresh grass or the spirit of all good here, it makes you know you're home.
It is home. It was home for us. It's home for the kids. It's home for the staff that come up here every year. It's an amazing place because there's such acceptance.
It's home in the sense where it brings me back to center. You're not constantly thinking about the outside world. So it gives you that chance to kind of just be you and let the best of you come out.
It's home because it's always a place to come back to and feel the presence of others and the presence of God.
I believe that God is present in Esopus. That Esopus represents for many a home, a place where they feel loved, where they feel safe, where they feel that they can be who they were created to be. I truly believe that Esopus is holy ground. Marcelin Champagnat founded the Marist Brothers to make Jesus known and loved, and he believed in young people. Everything that happens here is a part of that mission, whether that be our retreats, whether that be our camps, whether it be our volunteers, whether it be walking in the midst of God's gift of nature. I believe that God has touched people's lives here.
Marcelin Champagnat would be very proud of what he would see today had he shown up to Esopus. The power of Esopus is in the young people who make it happen. Champagnat's dream was that, young people deserved a chance to make things happen in the world. And that's exactly what happens here at Esopus. But the history of this place is full of love.
What we know of Esopus today was an amalgam of a number of estates around at the turn of the century for the 1900s. So let's begin a little bit. A man by the name of Oliver Hazard Payne, who was the treasurer of Standard Oil. He was older and looking for a place to build a summer home. So he had Thomas Hastings build him a mansion, the one we know of today. And what we know of as the center today is mainly his carriage house or his garage, where servants lived, where the cars were kept. He dies in 1916. He leaves the estate to one of his nephews. Eventually, the Roaring Twenties happened, the stock market crash. They couldn't keep it up, they couldn't pay the taxes. And eventually, in the 40s, the Marist brothers buy it from the state and now have a place for their brand new novitiate. They begin to build the dorms, the gym, and that's a quick history of where we are today.
We acquired the property. It was going to be a high school for students from the Marist schools who were interested in the brothers. And then when the changes in the church came, the number of people going to Esopus to study to be brothers dropped off tremendously. So in the mid-60s, that particular program closed and we had this property. And the question was, what do we do with it?
One of the phrases that Champagnat found always said is, you got to meet the signs of the times. You always got to be looking for what's the need now. Esopus went from being a high school to being an opportunity for young people to come on retreat, to come to know who God is in their lives, to explore and build their relationships with others, and really to challenge them to, become someone that's going to make this world a much better place.
I have been involved at Esopus since the late 60s, basically without a formal program here. We brought our own retreat groups here from schools, coming from all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of family situations.
We have kids come from many different faith backgrounds. For many of them, they have experiences here that they can sort of take the masks off and sort of be free in a way. I think conversations tend to be deeper and kids really feel so connected to each other when they're here. So I think that's huge in the formation of a young person, that they have that time to really relax and just be themselves.
At school, I just have to mention Esopus, and people are there. They come here, they just leave it at the door. There's a piece that this place brings to their lives that I can't put into words. It's miraculous in its own way.
It kind of helps you to process your high school time, being able to have that time to talk to other people and share what I've gone through and listen to what they've gone through and just take a step back from life. That's really like what retreats do. They let you just examine what is happening in your busy world.
Any of the retreat programs I've seen have led to students establishing new friendships, being able to feel a little bit more fully themselves. And there's a new sense of life and vitality and presence that they're bringing to their interactions, which hopefully they're able to carry forward into the rest of their lives.
What they come back with is a better knowledge of themselves, a better awareness, and I think that it enables them to expand their horizons, and it opens up a whole new world to them, a world that they had never been exposed to.
So a retreat is, I guess, a different experience where it's more internal, it's more reflective of who you are, where you're going with your life. And the focus is not necessarily on other, it's on self. Where a camp experience, the reflection happens, it just happens after. Camp is always outward, it's always working with campers, it's always becoming friends with people that may last a lifetime. So I think that the two together, you've worked on yourself, and the whole reason you worked on yourself is to go out and help others.
So from '74, he started to look at camps that we could bring up. They evolved these camps into special needs children, to special adults, to the deaf, to cancer. It was just a natural progression of experience after experience.
I mean, each camp is different. Kids want the kids too. Even that's a huge change. And a young adult to adult. Then you're throwing camps like Sister Pat's and Sacred Heart and Deaf Camp. It's all different. Each camp has some great things.
Every day's an adventure. It's the best thing, around that I can do in the summer.
A week volunteering at camp is exhausting.
Tiring. Exhausting.
And work tirelessly.
It's high-paced. What's sleep? I don't know. It takes a lot out of you, like mentally and physically.
Everyone who goes puts a lot of time and energy into whatever they're doing for however long they're doing it.
When we sit down on that last night, when we have a reflection, we're all extremely tired, but there isn't a person who's not smiling. We talk about how happy the kids were during the course of the week, and how happy we are that the week went so well and that our kids had an opportunity.
The impact of camp on my life was huge. It made me have bravery, courage, and responsibility. It taught me a lot of my first year. I learned how to ride a bike, I learned how to swim, I caught my first fish up at camp.
Stuff like that, giving kids their first opportunities to do something they never did and build confidence.
Like, it's a place where I just can go and have fun and be a kid, and it never gets old.
To give campers just a place to be on a pedestal, that's probably the most important thing. Make them feel at the most important people in the world for that 1 week.
You are here for this week, and you are serving, and you are giving. It is nothing compared to what you're getting back. They give back 100 times what you're giving them, because for them, you are the most important person that is in their life for that week.
I do like the counselors. They make things a lot of fun. Yes, I do look up to them. They're like another family to me over there.
It's just great to have that moment where you know that this is something that at the end of the week, I'm gonna feel rewarded and feel like, okay, I can go through the next 11 months of work and relationships and family because of this week.
I've always kind of explained camp to others as my reset button. You kind of go the whole year, almost like in a haze, and then you're at camp and everything makes sense, and you go home with a new resurgence.
I don't think I knew when I was on my way there and as I first started there, like how much it would change my mindset going back to work. That's something that I'll remember next year is like, okay, this week is gonna be very special. I'm gonna get a refresher on the important things in life for that week.
For me, it then became becoming a camp director and having relationships with the parents. There's a huge piece that we don't see at camp, which is what the parents get out of this.
Being an overzealous parent, we have a tendency to want to keep her in bubble wrap all the time, to see the potential and to see the independence that she exhibits. It was always there, and that's a quality that camp opened our eyes to.
When we met people from Esopus and saw how everyone showered them with love and attention from the beginning, it was just a model of really what the world should be and what life should be. And
It's just been a wonderful gift to the whole family.
It is the one place in this world that she is totally accepted for who she is and what she does. And as a mother, you couldn't give me a better gift. So I am so grateful to the counselors that come back year after year. They don't realize how important what they are doing is. And there is certainly a place in heaven for them.
I am so thrilled to see what started out as a couple of young kids that came up here one week in 1974 turned into the most incredible population of counselors and participants. The batons passed so many times to such wonderful, capable people. And I'm just so grateful that this will never end. And the magic continues.
As I think back on 75 years, the word that comes to mind most is gratitude to the early brothers that did so much to make this incredible place what it is today, and all the volunteers. You know, we can never list or thank all the people that did it. 75 years wouldn't be what it is without every single one of them.
The property stands alone. It's beautiful, it's great, but the people are obviously what make it flourish and keep on thriving.
It's a grouping of people who are like-minded, and everything that we do, it's selfless. It's for someone else. Having that kind of connection of people where you kind of look around and go, okay, everyone's on the same page here. We're all understanding what this is all for. It's for something bigger than us. And being able to meet with people like that is really what bonds us together.
Just being in that environment with so many other people and being surrounded by people who love you, they kind of help you to become the best version of yourself.
I heard someone say one time, a SOPIS should leave you feeling unsettled. And I think that's an important piece because our world is not a settled place. A SOPIS isn't the end of the road. It's about going out from here.
Who we are here is nice, but who we become outside is vital to really the mission. We have experiences here, and the people from here go out and engage the world in a way that is different.
It's a lot of stuff that most people, unfortunately, don't get to experience in their life. I'm really happy that I do.
We stand on the shoulders of giants. Whether it be a brother, a layperson, a retreat leader, a camp counselor, the torch has been passed and continues to burn. The magic of a SOPIS is the grace of God given freely. That is what brings us to the next 75 years of a SOPIS. It's not about the 75 years that are gone. It's about the 75 years that are out there. It's our belief in the young people and the goodness that can happen through them in making the world a better place.
A SOPIS is volunteer.
It's being in constant search of answers,
which could only be possessed by a child's smile, hug, or giggle.
It's having your heart left wide open,
while closing yourself off to the rest of the world.
It's having no time for yourself.
It's not wanting any time for yourself.
It's being alive in a world
that oftentimes doesn't know how to live.
It's a promise to humanity.
It's a place where the disadvantaged and needy
give twice as much as we ever expect to give them.
It's a place where God works in mysterious ways.
It's where God is tangible.
It's a place to explore externally,
but more importantly, internally.
It's a place where people know and enjoy who you are
and what you are becoming.
It's a place we've come to call home.
A SOPIS is ours.
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 A SOPIS is ours.